What would you do if the person you trusted most, the one you built your life with, was secretly planning to destroy everything behind your back? This is the story of Michael, a man who sensed the cold winds of betrayal long before the storm arrived. A story of love turned into quiet warfare, trust shattered in silence, and the painful decisions that follow when your marriage becomes a battlefield. Before you think it could never happen to you, listen closely. Welcome to Breakup Cheater, where true human stories of love, betrayal, and survival come alive. Each episode takes you deep into real emotions, raw heartbreak, and the choices that change everything. If you've ever wondered what happens behind closed doors when trust is broken, you're in the right place. I knew something was wrong the moment she stopped saying my name. It wasn't about love or intimacy at first, just the little things. How Michael became "Hey" or "Can you?" How her eyes seemed to scan the room when I entered, as if she were checking an exit, not greeting her husband. For 12 years, Hannah and I had shared everything. Laughter, arguments, a mortgage, even the boring rituals of Sunday grocery runs. But 3 months ago something shifted. It was in the silence between us. The kind that hummed louder than words. One night, I found myself lying awake, staring at the ceiling while her back was turned to me. Her breathing was steady, almost rehearsed. My phone was on the nightstand. Hers was clutched beneath her pillow like a lifeline. That was the first sign. The second came 2 weeks later when I overheard her in the kitchen. Her voice low but tense. "No, I told you I can't just leave right now. He's not stupid." I stood frozen in the hallway, coffee cooling in my hands. She noticed me a second later and smiled. "Too wide, too quick." "Work call," she said. "About the Q3 report. But Hannah doesn't work in finance." That night, I did something I never thought I'd do in my marriage. I checked her phone. Her passcode hadn't changed in years. Our anniversary. 0417. But now it didn't work. I tried her birthday. Her mother's. Nothing. She changed it. And that was when the fear turned into something else. I didn't rage. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I started paying attention. Every late-night text buzz, every unexplained strategy meeting, every credit card statement. What I saw wasn't explosive, it was quiet, strategic. She had opened a separate savings account. She'd met with a lawyer, at least that's what the calendar notification suggested. Consult, 3:30 p.m. Divorce. She was preparing for a divorce. And worse, I suspected she was doing it in a way that would blindside me, leave me with nothing while she walked away clean. For a week, I wrestled with it. Half of me screaming to confront her, the other half whispering to stay silent. Chose the whisper. I met with my own lawyer. Quietly, discreetly. I moved the bulk of my savings into a trust under my brother's name. I transferred my company shares to an account she couldn't touch. I canceled the joint credit card. I felt like a thief in my own life. Every time Hannah smiled at me, I smiled back, even as I signed documents to shield everything I'd worked for. 2 weeks later, the house was too quiet when I came home early. Her car was in the driveway. My gut twisted as I stepped inside. She was at the dining table, laptop open, headphones in, scribbling notes. When she looked up, her face drained of color, as if I'd caught her stealing the family silver. "Michael, you're home early." "I had a meeting cancelled." I placed my briefcase down. "What's all this?" She closed the laptop a little too fast. "Just some work stuff." I sat down across from her. "Hannah, are you planning on leaving me?" The words hung there, thick and heavy. Her eyes flickered. For a split second I saw the truth. Then the mask slipped on. "What? Well, why would you even say that?" I leaned back, folding my arms. "Because you've been distant. 'Cause you're hiding things. 'Cause I heard you on the phone. Because you changed your passcode." Her jaw clenched. "You went through my phone." "I tried," I admitted. "But I didn't need to. You've been telling me without saying a word." She didn't cry. That was the worst part. She exhaled slowly, like someone relieved their secret was finally out. "Michael, I was going to tell you. I just didn't know how. I've been unhappy for a long time. Unhappy. My voice cracked. We built a life together, Hannah. We talked about kids, vacations, growing old on that stupid porch swing you insisted we buy. When did that become unhappy? Her lips trembled. It's not one thing. It's 1,000 little things. You're always working. We don't talk like we used to. I feel like I'm married to a stranger. And so your solution was to hire a lawyer behind my back. Silence. I saw it then on her face. Not guilt. Calculation. There was someone else. I didn't even need to ask. The way she flinched when my phone buzzed, the late nights, the sudden gym membership. She wasn't leaving for emptiness. She was leaving for someone. Who is he? Her head snapped up. What? Who? He. Hannah's fingers curled around the edge of the table. It's not about that. It's exactly about that, I said quietly. You don't destroy a marriage for the thrill of independence, Hannah. Not like this. She looked at me then. Not with love, not even with pity, but with that same cold resolve I'd glimpsed weeks before. I'm sorry, she whispered. No tears. Just that. The divorce papers arrived 3 days later. She wanted the house. Half of my business. Spousal support. I almost laughed when I read it. Because by then the house was in my name only. The business shares were secured. The accounts, empty, legally moved. My lawyer called her demands optimistic at best. When we met for mediation, her face turned pale as my attorney slid the documents across the table. Proof that I'd seen this coming. You moved the assets, she hissed when the lawyer stepped out. I protected myself, I said. The same way you were trying to protect yourself. You're unbelievable. No, Hannah. Believed. For 12 years I believed in us. And you gambled that I'd be too trusting, too blind to see what you were doing. The process was messy, but in the end, she walked away with far less than she expected. Just her car, a modest settlement, and whatever was left of her pride. But the victory didn't taste sweet. I'd won on paper, yes. But the nights were still long and cold. The bed still felt too big. The ghost of her laugh still lingered in the hallway. People think betrayal is loud. Shouting matches, broken plates, slammed doors. But real betrayal, it's quiet. It's a slow knife you don't notice until you're already bleeding. A month after the divorce was finalized, I saw her at the grocery store. She was with him, the man I'd only guessed at before. Younger, taller, with that smug look men wear when they think they've won something. She didn't see me at first. They were laughing over a bottle of wine in the aisle where we used to argue about which pasta sauce to buy. When she finally glanced up, her smile faltered. She looked away first. And in that moment I realized something. I didn't hate her. I pitied her. Because while she was scheming for a clean break, I was learning the ugliest truth of all. You can't steal love and you can't fake loyalty. That night, I sat on the porch swing she once begged for. The air was cool, the stars pinpricks above. I thought about the man I'd been. Trusting, open, perhaps naive. And I thought about the man I was becoming. Guarded, wiser, but still capable of love. Would I love again? Maybe. But next time I'd make sure the silences were the kind you share, not the kind you fear. And if I ever saw betrayal creeping in again, I wouldn't wait in the shadows this time. I'd walk away before the knife found its place. Sometimes the deepest cuts aren't made with words or weapons. They're made with silence, secrets, and a smile that hides betrayal. Michael didn't just survive. He learned, he rebuilt, and he found the strength to protect what was his. What about you? Would you have seen the signs, or would you have woken up too late? Tell us your thoughts below. And remember, trust is fragile, but resilience is powerful. You've just heard one story, but there are many more waiting to be told. Here at Breakup Cheater, every twist, every secret, every moment of truth is just the beginning. Subscribe, share your thoughts, and join us as we uncover the stories that people whisper about, but never forget.